Hey everybody, I'm going to try to make this recording a little bit shorter than the ones I've done in the past because I don't think people want to listen to me for that long. Rightfully, just because you can kind of just go through the analysis on your own if you want to. So for this game, my opponent played e4, e5, and here, I wanted to be like Magnus. I wanted to, after he played bishop e5, go, for the a6, and I was hoping for the Marcel Gambit here, because you sacrifice a pawn for the initiative, and that's what I got. Minor move order detail here. It turns out b5 is a mistake here. Better is to go bishop e7 first, and the reason for that is if I go b5 here, this allows white to play a4, uh, like sooner than they would otherwise. They can also go for d4. To me, that wasn't as intuitive, but the whole idea is at this point, right? White can either, as we saw in the World Championship, play h3, c3, or a4. But if you play b5 before bishop e7, white gets that a4 option sooner. That's kind of how I rationalize it at least. So here he plays c3. This happens. Um, I go for this, and then here I think my opponent did his first kind of like uh, inaccuracy. He took the knight, and in these martial lines, usually like I guess the bishop does take the knight at some point, but taking it immediately is just like you're giving a bishop for nothing. So why would you do this to yourself? And then yeah, so I play the standard lines. He goes rook e3. Interesting enough, the engine likes rook e3 the most. The reason being is after I go queen h4. If the rook goes back to e1, g3 is basically the only move here, versus at this point he can play h3. And the reason why h3 doesn't work if the rook goes to e1 is basically black can like sack on h3, and then just like white's king side gets opened up. If you explore with the computer, sometimes like uh, white tries to get his pieces out, but black just has so much compensation. Like it's just it just shows you why chess is awesome. But anyway, so here was my first I guess you could call it a mistake. The computer wanted queen h4 here. During the game I was thinking either bishop f5 or f5, like just get the pawn rolling, but the computer actually doesn't like the move f5. It likes the move g5. And this move I found very surprising, but the idea behind g5 is because white traded this hook just to kind of attack it. So that was kind of a learning moment for me. So I played bishop f5, just trying to get the rooks developed ASAP. He plays knight d2, which is the best move, trying to go to f3 and get that tempo on the queen, which was ever so important. So that's what happens here. And then he takes the rook. I think this was like a minor mistake because the whole reason is this gives the open file to my rook, and this helps me I think a little bit more than it helps him. I think what was I think Stockfish was recommending like either like King F1 or even like just sacking a pawn with knight e5, something like that. But anyway, so here we have a bishop g5, um, which is a mistake. Interesting enough. Uh, Let me turn on the engine and try to see why. Um, Okay, so here the engine was thinking a4 bishop e3. So this I guess maybe improves the positioning of the queen a little bit because I'm going after g2. But anyway, like with the bishop also threatening to take that pawn. So here he did queen d2, which was I thought okay. Um and here after h6 I was like, dude, you're going to lose a pawn, but he plays this weird move knight h4 and it turns out to be the best move, and I'm just like, wait, shouldn't I be able to do something weird to you and to take advantage of it? But no, it turns out I can't. So here we trade pieces. He goes bishop e3, and here I'm thinking, okay, I'm down a pawn. Let me just try to get the initiative rolling. Let me try to play rook e6. Try to get something. Here he plays a4, which is a mistake. Stockfish either recommended rook e1 or king f1 at this point. And the reason why this move is a mistake, he's playing on the wrong side of the board. Like black still has an initiative, and you have to, and as white you have to deal with it. Otherwise, it's not good, and you'll see that in the game. So I go this. Um, and he plays g4, and g4 here was the losing move of the game. Again, here Stockfish either recommends king f1 or rook e1. And the reason why this move is a mistake is king f3. I mean queen f3. And here you can see with the dark sword bishop controlling h2 with the queen controlling g2, it's just I'm gonna win the h3 pawn and black is winning at this point. So here he plays g5, which was his best try. Here there's two options I can do to win. During the game I got a little bit greedy and I think it was premature. On my point, even though both moves are winning, h takes g5, it preserves this bind that black has on white. Here after I play queen h3, he gets to play this f4 move in, and after I take it, like it's just like, and after he takes this, like my rook is kind of now a little bit like it feels weird because want to keep it eyeing the king. And here many moves won during the game. I think one of the easiest was bishop h2. I missed this. Well, I didn't. I After the move, I thought, oh, the queen could take, but what I missed here was that I could take white's bishop, and that was the mental error on my side. But even after a move like rook queen rook e6, this rook sometimes goes to then e4 and then even like the g4 or h4. That was another winning idea. But anyway, I play queen g3 here, and you can see these moves are still like relatively like black still winning, but it's getting very tricky. And then here I didn't really know what to do. Um because I think I was running low on time, slash like I kind of wanted the game to end and I didn't know how. So I was like, okay, let me just attack stuff. And here what's really interesting is if I show you the lines here is rook. So actually here rook takes e3 is winning. But what I did isn't, because here it's like you like um this rook is pinned, right? So what I can do is there's this 2-on-1 majority on the queen king side, and I can basically use this to create like a pass pawn and then eventually like win the endgame. But here if I take with the bishop first, it's like this means that black doesn't get like an additional tempo due to the pinning of the rook that they would normally get. So here it's like a draw for some reason. But anyway, that's like a interesting point because here it's like white can get the king here and then like play c4 after the pawn's taken on a4. But anyway, so I play this, and here I didn't know what to do. I was just like I thought it was a draw basically, and I was right. So here I just tried to repeat, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to continue. He didn't want to continue either, so that's how the game ended. So I guess biggest takeaway here for me, if I were so to wrap it up, is basically uh not being hasty with taking the pawn on h3 and just keeping your bind on white's position and playing h takes g5. That was, I guess, one of my main takeaways. And also, I think white was just as white, make sure like you are cognizant of the initiative and don't play a move like this. Just don't allow like these, rook shenanigans, and then it just makes your life hard. But anyway, overall fun game, and hope you guys enjoyed the recording. This one is like 8.5 minutes. The other ones are over 20. So hopefully you guys should like it better.